This was interesting to me, Leroy. So Jeff Ireland, of course, made an appearance last week on the spite list. Forget where he was. I feel like he was in the 20s. Check out all-time 74 spite list. Jeff
By the way,
Ireland.
my spite list is coming out on Wednesdays. We do our traditional Spite Wednesdays.
Yep. On my spite list, he was 26th, so just outside the top 25, just behind his sensei Bill Parcells. But there's a story from New Orleans football that Jeff Ireland, who is the Saints' assistant GM, and he is the head of their personnel division, like he's their head of scouting, that their initial plan was to trade back in the draft. Now, they had the 24th pick, right?
Right.
And the Dolphins were 26th. And they had heard that the Miami Dolphins had interest in drafting Michigan center Cesar Ruiz. Mm-hmm. That they were going to bolster up the offensive line a little bit more, get themselves a center or an interior offensive lineman. And so instead of trading back into the second round where the Saints did not have a pick, Ireland decided to stand pat and pick Cesar Ruiz at number 26, make that pick rather than trade back. So it did kind of shake up the Dolphins draft in a lot of ways because the Dolphins ended up trading back themselves, trading with the Green Bay Packers. They ended up taking Noah Igbenogany at number 30, and then ended up taking Robert Hunt in the second round. So it ended up messing with them a little bit. But this guy, Jeff Ireland, he's got his little birds out there like Varys, and he's hearing that the Dolphins plan to go and draft Ruiz, and he goes, "Oh, no. He's got his own spite list. He's going and messing with his former team. He's trying to take away offensive linemen."
So that's where we are now.
Now, I'm not worried about it.
Hold on.
We got to move.
Hold on.
What?
That's where we are now. We're at the point of talking about football in the draft.
Yeah.
Where we are pissed off that another team took an offensive lineman in front of us.
Right. Because we're trying to bolster that offensive line for Tua. All right? We got hips to protect. And Jeff Ireland's out there. And he goes, I kind of want to trade back, but instead I'm just going to ruin the Dolphins' draft plans. That's petty, Leroy.
That's not really. So that's why
petty.
He's drafting it just to mess with the Dolphins.
Yep. He doesn't even want Cesar Ruiz.
Let me ask you something. Does it matter who New Orleans drafts?
Yeah.
They're going to be good.
Well, sure.
Okay. All right.
My point exactly.
I mean,
he didn't need Cesar Ruiz. He just did it. He just did to stick it to the Dolphins.
Out of curiosity, they say the Dolphins draft was, what did they get? Most of them give them a B?
Most of B.
Yeah, it was after two. A lot of people said it was meh.
Right. What was the grade for the Saints?
Well, let me check. Good question. New Orleans Saints draft grades.
Dude, what are you typing with a finger and a half?
Hold on. CBS Sports. They gave the Cesar Ruiz pick an A. An A.
So it's not, if they got an A for drafting him, you think like you just did it to spite the Dolphins?
Yeah, they got a good player. they got a good player, and they decided, I can also stick it to the team that fired me.
You're supposed to be a little different. We had live sports this past weekend.
What are you talking about?
This is silly talk.
It's not silly talk.
It's a good player.
Okay.
It's a good player.
But not a player they wanted, nor needed.
Then why did they get an A for the grade?
Maybe
if he didn't look. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Right? The Green Bay Packers probably didn't get that good of a grade for drafting a quarterback in the first round because they had so many other needs. And you have Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you have Aaron Rodgers, and his window is closing. So drafting a quarterback when you have so many needs, the grade's probably not going to be that good, even though that quarterback could turn out being pretty good. That being said, that doesn't seem like the case with New Orleans. They drafted a good player.
Why does Jeff Ireland tell people that the Saints had, quote, pretty strong intel that Miami would take Ruiz? Does he do that?
So you do spite drafting?
Yeah, I think he's spite drafting. I think he's spite drafting.
So you think a guy that's paid to make the team he works for better is just drafting players because another team wanted him, not because his team needed him?
He doesn't need anything. He's 13-3. They're a good team. He doesn't need anything. He's got the infrastructure already. So what does he do? He's going to go and say, well, they want a center. I'm going to take a center.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Didn't we talk last week? We talked about Logan Ryan, that the Dolphins may be just fishing interest just to drive the price up for the Jets.
Yeah.
What's to say Jeff Ireland's not doing the same thing? And Robbie makes a good point. Robbie, you think there could be a mole?
Yeah, like how does he know? How does he still have that intel? How does he know that the Dolphins?
They all know.
Nah. What if he has? What if he's like Littlefinger and has?
How do you think?
eyes
How do you think
everywhere?
like the first 10 picks of the draft, all these guys on TV pretty much have an idea of who they're going to draft?
What if Jeff Ireland?
Intel.
What if Jeff Ireland has Cheryl, the cleaning lady, and she is a mole, and while she's in there swapping out waste paper baskets in the war room, she goes.
She's looking at the boards.
She's like showing her bosom, and she's taking pictures of the draft board. And then all of a sudden, Cheryl sent Jeff Ireland a picture of the Dolphins draft board and it says Cesar Ruiz. And then all of a sudden, Jeff Ireland knows the Dolphins draft plans and he decides to screw him.
I can't even look at you right now. That's so.
Now
Come on.
look, joke's on you, Jeff, because I'm glad we got Igbenogany. Guy's going to be amazing. And we got Robert Hunt. All right?
Hold on. Pipe down.
What?
It took you a week to learn how to say his name. You had no idea who he was before the Dolphins drafted him.
Iggy,
Stop.
Stop. Me and Iggy, we're like this. I'm glad we got Iggy. All right, and I'm glad we got Robert Hunt. He's a mauler. All right. So jokes on you, Jeffrey. He's a mauler.
You think
jokes
so?
on you, Jeffrey, that we didn't get it. I'm fine where the Dolphins ended up. All right. For me, you want me to grade the Dolphins draft? A+. We got the smoke master. All right, Chris Greer, and he got Tua. You idiots. You thought he was going to trade up. Nope. Even though I would have been fine with that. But I think the big concern is what Robbie said. We have a mole in the Dolphins headquarters, Leroy. A mole. Somebody from the Ireland regime is in the Dolphins building and still feeding him intel. And we need to find out who it is. We need to smoke him out. Smoke him out.
Really?
Yep.
Is it that Chris Greer's intern again?
It's Todd the intern.
Todd the intern.
Todd the intern's been an intern since Jeff Ireland.
Yeah, it could have been an intern since Jeff Ireland. He's been mulling for him this whole time.
It's like Chris Greer goes in. He goes,
Hey,
Todd, get in here, please.
I think you're going to call up Jesse the Body and y'all going to start doing shows together. Conspiracy theories.
I once went down and made drinking water in Mexico.
You know what's crazy? He used to do a sports talk show.
I know.
Hey.
In Minnesota? That was your governor.
So every Monday, he had a show at a sports bar, and he would have a different player. I think I did it like 2 or 3 times.
I would love to know what Jesse Ventura's thoughts are on the coronavirus, if he thinks it's a conspiracy theory or not.
I mean, yeah. And Bigfoot.
Everybody here's wearing masks.
Was that last week we were talking about some Bigfoot, big people that believe in Bigfoot said we need to wear masks in the woods as not to give the big. I'm like, really? Really?
Oh, man. Let's get the headlines.
Oh, by the way, I saw Crowder yesterday.
Did you? Where?
He
Delaware?
fishing in the creek.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we live right around the corner. He
Wait,
lives
so
right.
he was fishing in the creek. Where'd you see him? Driving by, or you?
No, he was fishing. I was driving by, and he was fishing in the creek with his kids.
Cool. Did he catch anything?
I don't know. I just honked the horn and keep it moving.
My son and I went down to the creek yesterday, and we were playing with the remote control boat. I was very nervous about reaching into that creek to get the.
You need to get you a pole with a net on it,
Oh,
like one of the pool boat, like one of the pool nets.
I almost fell into the creek because as soon as I went to go pull it, my son hit the gas, and I was like, "Whoa!" Almost fell right in.
He's messing with. He said, "I want to see that." Hit the gas. You know why? Because that's something you would do. That's why.
Probably.
So you wait till he's like 10 or 11.
New poll out. Does Jeff Ireland have a mole in Dolphins headquarters?
No.
Let's get the
Like,
headlines.
stop making a big deal about nothing.
This is WAXYAM South Miami and WSFSFM HD2 Miramar, a radio.com sports station.
To be clear, you are now making a big deal about the Dolphins not getting an offensive lineman.
Well, I mean, this guy. I mean,
No. Let's put it
So
out
we have
there.
a mole we have a mole in the organization. That's a huge deal.
How could you have a mole in an organization when nobody's been in the building?
I mean, even more so. They could be, Jeff Ireland could have been going into Todd the intern's, computer and be like, "Hey, Todd, what's going on? It's Jeff Ireland." Oh, what's
Why
up?
do you
Mr.
sound like
Ireland?
Dr. Phil?
That's kind of how he sounds.
He does kind of sound like that.
What's up, Todd? How's it been? Has things hanging? Is Chris Greer paying you yet? No, still on the intern track. It's all right, buddy. Keep your head down. And so he's just, how about if I make you a little bit of money? I'll send it to your Venmo right now. $100 if you tell me who the Dolphins are drafting in the late
$100. You think $100 is getting that done?
It's hard times for Todd the intern.
Really?
What do you think it costs for leaked information like that from Todd the intern?
I don't think it matters.
500?
Like, here, understand this. Who cares about leaked information on a prospect? Right? Hey, everybody knew that New England was going to take Tom Brady, right? Nobody jumped to get him before them.
Nah, you always go to the Tom Brady thing. Congratulations, you're able to go to one.
What else?
The one
Hey,
place in history.
wait a minute. How about this? Everybody knew the Kansas City wanted Patrick Mahomes. And you know what they were like? Hey, let's see if we can get some picks out of him. We'll let him trade up. We don't want him. Right? Patrick Mahomes. Now.
I don't like. Would you rather have a stout ship or a leaky boat? I can't be having leaks all over my ship.
It depends on what the information that's being leaked. Like being leaked over whether a player's going to be a stud or not in a draft, that's not information because it's already a crapshoot. Like, so what? Ireland knew they were going to get an offensive lineman. Did we not all know that? Wait, hold on. Before the draft, did we not all think they were going to try to get one of these offensive linemen in the first round?
Hold on. In this situation, they already got one. All right. They already took Austin Jackson. What we didn't know is they were going to double down. And everybody kind of shrugs their shoulders at the Igbenogany pick, and they're like, all right. I mean, he's talented, but it's kind of weird. Like, why are they taking another cornerback? Now, Flores, thank God for Flowosophy, because Coach Flo, while he's shoulder shrugging, can tell you, hey, don't worry about it. Can never have enough cornerbacks in the NFL, which is a great way to window dress it. But in
Which
reality,
is also true.
yeah, but it's also not what they wanted to do. It's also
Okay, but the guy was gone. Look, at that point in the draft, I think they could have went two different ways. Or three ways. They could have taken the corner. They could have drafted a running back. Or they could have just drafted an offensive lineman. And one they weren't, maybe they were okay with, but no. So at that point, one of the things that I am happy about is when it gets to that moment and you're struggling to find an alternative to the guy you wanted. And that's, Cesar. If you couldn't find a guy, okay, can we get the next guy, or can we get?
By the way, is it Cesar or is it Cesar?
Cesar. I thought you were talking about Caesar, the ape from Planet of the Apes, the lead ape.
No, Cesar. Sorry,
Oh, my bad. Well, you're a Michigan guy. I thought maybe you knew and I was effing it up.
he plays center.
Yep. Oh, you haven't been scouting him very much?
Sorry.
As long as the snaps are good?
I mean, I've been struggling because they gave up 120 points to the Buckeyes the last 2 years. But anyway, if you and you can't find, okay, like the next guy. So for example, let's put a situation like, okay, if the Dolphins would have taken Herbert, the Chargers would have taken Tua. Okay? The Dolphins took Tua, they took Herbert. We all knew how that was going to go.
Yeah,
there isn't a second guy for Cesar, right? So here's what you do. In those instances, I'm going skill position. I'm going guy who runs fast, guy who affects the ball, and I'm going through one of those. I'm either go wide out, I'm either going to go cornerback, or something along those lines.
Okay.
Or wide receiver, which they don't need.
But the bigger problem here is not even the pick. The bigger problem is there's a mole.
Who cares? Wait a minute. Hold on. What was the Dolphins' record last year?
5-12. Well, not 5-11.
Right. 5-11, right? You think it's a bigger issue that he trying to get secrets from a 5-11 team?
Oh, Robbie, by the way, I had a doozy one this weekend where I made Miguel Baeza 22 years younger than Matt Brown.
What?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
My bad.
So,
Apparently
you see what I'm saying?
Apparently I was sipping on too much Funky Buddha hard seltzer.
See, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I could understand if it was a guy that Kansas City wanted, if it was a guy that New England wanted, if it was a guy that San Fran wanted, that Baltimore wanted, who is known to usually have good drafts, I would understand that.
But the whole
But guess who I'm not going to jump in front of? Detroit.
Nah, get
Miami.
out of here. Here's the
The
thing, though.
Jets.
This is where you missed the boat. All
All right.
Petty knows no bounds. And we watched yesterday at The Last Dance, Michael Jordan would make lists. You know, it was some dude, who was the dude on the Jazz who was just joking about, oh, why'd you quit, Mike? I couldn't wait to guard you.
Oh, Byron
Michael
Russell.
Jordan. Yeah, Byron Russell. And Byron Russell was joking about that back in the day when Michael Jordan was playing baseball. No, he's like, at that point, he was on the list. Jeff Ireland, he wants to ruin any chance the Dolphins have to get good because he's petty. He's petty that it ended terribly here. So he's going to go out there and he's going to make life as hard as possible for the Dolphins.
Oh my goodness.
I would agree with you.
Hey.
You and me would be on board. We would be simpatico on this 100% if it wasn't Jeff Ireland and the Dolphins we're talking about here.
How about this? You know what you sound like? All the shows that I've been binge watching on. Because I'm going to tell you about the Vikings, the Romans, Ozark. All these people have one thing in common. They have that overly petty person that just won't let it go.
What if?
They usually get their head chopped off,
No.
but they still continue to be petty.
We have two things. I watched a couple shows recently. The Americans, all right, you have to, you had the Russian. He ended up having he made the secretary his second wife to make her a mole. Unbeknownst to her. He gave her a pen. She never saw it coming. Then you have Money Heist, where they made the own investigator the mole.
Oh,
They
yeah.
infiltrated his glasses.
Right.
What if Jeff Ireland infiltrated some scout's glasses in the Dolphins?
Again, what are you scouting, dude? You're scouting a 5'11 team. That's terrible.
You scout everybody.
No, you
Scout-
scout the successful teams.
You scout the successful teams and you scout the teams
Ooh.
you never want to be good.
Hey, I could box myself in, but I'm not going to.
No, please do.
New England was scouting the Cincinnati.
Damage is done, my friend. You can't help
Damage is
yourself.
done, my friend.
A scout's a scout.
No,
a cheater's a cheater.
Man, I don't look. I'm not gonna risk my mole on a team or an information that's a 50-50 chance is gonna even work.
Dude,
The draft is 50-50.
if you infiltrate somebody's, what is that thing called? The Saints logo? What is that little New Orleans crest thing? What is that
Fleur
called?
de lis?
Yeah. What do you think? The bug has a fleur de lis on it? No. It's just they just know they're bugged. Then they have to look at and say, oh, it could be anybody. Could be any of the other 31 teams.
Not really, because nobody's in. Okay, how are they getting this information when there's social distancing and all the buildings have been closed?
I don't know.
Some
Maybe you
even
go to Amazon. Let's say, for example,
Wait, so you think they're going to get a device from Amazon Prime?
yeah, let's say, for example, there's a scout named Roger, all right? And Roger wears glasses. And Roger is in charge of the draft board. He updates the draft board. He's the guy who goes up there. He puts this, and he's got a copy. And all of a sudden, Roger gets to do, oh, good, honey. My glasses came in from Amazon Prime. But all of a sudden, the delivery guy, he works for the Saints. He infiltrates, puts the bug in the glasses. And now they have cameras. Big problem, Leroy.
You are silly talk. Make it about some information that you could actually do something with.
Leroy,
Information on the prospect?
Leroy, did you see the most recent Spider-Man in the Marvel movies?
What, Homecoming?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Remember the glasses?
I saw-
Remember the glasses that Spider-Man had? I mean, they were pretty high tech and advanced.
Oh yeah, so they could. He could also change his suit, which was weird.
So you could have had one of those glasses to wear to Roger the Scout, and they could have been,
Again,
seeing the draft board.
Again, I'm not risking getting in trouble over a prospect, dude. That's crazy. Like, so you're gonna have a mole to get information on a player that can end up being Brady Quinn.
Rob, let me ask you something, Leroy. You happily married?
Yep. At least I think I am. Want me to go ask my wife?
Well, I think you're happily married. You guys
Okay.
are cool, you do a little smooch every day. If you found out something bad happened to your ex, or you could find, let me ask you this: you could find out, hey, I got some news on your ex,
Right.
just willy nilly. Somebody's got some info on
Right.
it. Would you want to know?
No, I don't
Really?
care.
What if
I
it
don't
was
care.
bad news? What if it was bad
Don't
news?
care.
Really?
Don't care.
Not at all.
I'm moved on. Like
I wanna know.
if something would happen and they go, hey, this happened so I'm like, oh, sorry to hear that. Moving on. That's
what
it.
If it was a funny story? What if you could make him look a fool?
Nope. Don't care.
Really interesting.
Don't care. Like, if I'm done, dude. I'm moving on. Like, I don't have that petty like that.
Interesting. You and I aren't the same that way.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Because you probably have a list of all your exes to see how they doing, keeping updates. You got scouts out there letting you know if they're successful or not. Yeah, come on,
Oh,
dude.
I only want to know about the unsuccessful ones.
Oh, you didn't want to know about right? No, see, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. Like, I hope when it's over, it's over. I hope you do well. No hard feelings. Move on.
But if
I'm
you
not gonna
found
let
out
I'm
you
not
weren't
gonna
doing
let
well.
somebody else make me miserable for the rest of my life because I couldn't be with them or whatever.
If you found out that after you left, Tanya became fat, depressed, and with somebody terrible, that would make you smile a little bit.
No, I'd be like, oh, that's sad to hear. Here's my banging wife.
Yeah, but you wouldn't really feel sad. You'd be like, "Psh,
No, I would. Like, dude, and look, here. Let me explain something to you. More people should do this.
huh?
If it's over, it's over. If you're going to keep having problems after it's over, then maybe you should have worked it out.
Jeff Ireland's like the professor in Money Heist, bro.
No, he's not. He's like that annoying guy. What's his name?
Arturo?
Yes. Oh, my God.
I got
That
this.
guy. Wait, every show has that guy.
Of course.
Dude, I'm watching Rome.
Save
And it's really cool. No, it's really it's really cool because they have little caveats in it, but it's almost identical to the history of Rome, right?
That's what I told you.
I know.
I thought you were going to say the history of football.
No.